Hello, Nicoleta. Welcome to the Healed and Cash Flowing podcast show. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing so good. Thank you for having me. I'm well.
Oh my God, my pleasure. I know we're gonna have a great conversation. Just looking at your beautiful natural background, all the
Yay.
things you have, it's gonna be amazing. So, for those that don't know you yet, can you tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah, so I'm a certified master breathwork facilitator. I perform inner healing breathwork journeys. So that's my specialty. I also combine that with fascial release. So hands-on fascial release as well. I also teach fascial release virtually as well. So I can kind of combine both of them to get just like this master healing of the somatic body and the mind as well.
Oh my God, all those things that you said combined, delicious. Oh my God,
Right?
I love it. So many things. So, how, before we go into things, because I am excited to hear how you put it all together. How do you even start with breath work?
Yeah, so I started with breath work after unfortunately like dealing with some debilitating symptoms. I had some like blurred vision, tremor in the hand. I couldn't keep my hand still, racing heart rate, not able to gain any weight, which I'm sure people don't think is a problem, but
Yeah,
could be a very
yeah.
big problem. A lot of hair loss, severe hair loss. And come to find out, I had a pretty severe thyroid condition, Graves'
Mm,
disease, and it which led me into severe panic attacks. So because when the
wow.
body is racing so rapidly, right, everything you're basically living in fight and flight. And so I was just there, and I found breath work by the grace of God, the universe, right, the source
Yeah.
energy guided me to breath work. And so once I found breath work, I just kind of dabbled and noticed that I could get out of like my way, right? I could get out of my own way. Like
Mm,
if I had a headache, I could breathe my way out of a headache. If I got stressed out during traffic, I could breathe my way through it. And then I just got more curious and kind of like how I am. I just like, just dived fully deeply in
yeah.
and became aware of conscious connected breath. And that's really my specialty.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Conscious, connected breath. And it's so
Mhm.
funny how we take for granted breathing. And I know that I have found myself shallow breathing. I did not realize I am getting some training in singing and sound healing. And part of the training is elongating your breath and being able to hold a note. And I'm like, oh, I'm a great breather. And it's like,
Right?
because I
Yeah.
have no breathing issues. I have no respiratory anything, no asthma, nothing. And then
Mhm.
my teacher, who's older, he's holding the notes, and I'm and barely takes a breath in, and he's going and going, and I'm like taking huge breaths, and I'm like, oh, I need to practice. This is no bueno. This is no good. So it's amazing. So you said that you can breathe your way out of a headache or breathe your way out whatever you were going through. So somebody that is brand new to breath work, why is the breath so vital for us?
Yeah, so I mean, basically what happens is that the breath is being controlled by our autonomic nervous system, right? Which I call the automatic nervous system. We're not thinking about it. We're not paying
Yeah,
attention to it, right? It's our survival and we need to breathe to stay alive. So we're
yeah,
not really adding any consciousness to it. We're allowing it to happen.
yeah.
So when you start to take power and when you start to bring consciousness to your breath, you're able to notice things you probably wouldn't notice
Mm,
otherwise. So
yeah.
if you are suffering from a headache or something like that, if you just stop and take the time to breathe into whatever it is,
Mm,
instead of allowing the monkey mind, the chaos, the to-do list to basically take over your existence,
yeah.
then you're able to really get into something that maybe typically you really wouldn't be getting into because you're not allowing the time or the space.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's beautiful. And that's why probably when somebody's having a panic attack or is freaking out, they give them a paper bag because they are, it's not, I always thought it was the paper bag, but I think the paper bag is a distraction to focus on this. All you
Hmm.
have to do right now is focus on this, and then they begin to calm down.
Yeah, panic attacks are severe. And as somebody who suffered very, very frequently from panic attacks, I'll tell you, and for your listeners out there who have had them, they are absolutely no joke. And you do really feel like you are dying at the moment, right? Because you are losing your
Wow.
breath. So, yeah, the paper bag is a distraction, but it's also because sometimes when you're having a panic attack, you are feeling like you can't breathe. So basically,
Mm,
when you get the paper bag, you're like kind of almost hyperventilating yourself to where you're
yeah.
putting so much oxygen in the body that you just like kind of it sends a signal to your brain that, okay, I'm safe, right?
Yeah.
And
Wow.
actually, interesting enough, that's kind of what we do at Chameleon Breathwork, my practice. Like that's kind of
Mhm.
what the type of breath that we do is a conscious connected breath. And you're not hyperventilating, but you are breathing through the mouth. So
Mm,
typically people are not breathing through the mouth, right? Mouth
yeah.
breathers. Everyone always makes fun of mouth breathers, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you can come over here with me. Mouth breathing is okay.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's not
good.
acceptable. Um, but yeah, we do a conscious connected breath through the mouth because usually our nostrils are only so wide, right? We can only take up
Yeah.
so much oxygen through the nostril cavity. So when we breathe through an open mouth, we can expand. And like you were saying with the singing, right? It's more
Yeah.
diaphragmatic when you're inhaling through the mouth. And when you're singing, you're obviously breathing and singing out through the mouth. So you're really,
Yeah.
it makes sense why you would
Oh
need
my
that
God.
extra that extra
Yeah.
space.
You are helping me so much right now because I was shamed into not breathing through the mouth. And I do find
Hmm.
that I don't get as much air when I
Hmm.
breathe through my nose. Like you said, it's just math, right? The space, how
Yeah.
much air goes in. And I love that you're saying it's a-okay to be a mouth. I love the name because it has such a negative
Mouth breather. I
connotation.
know
Yeah,
it does. It
mouth
really does.
breather.
Well, I don't recommend it like on a daily basis, like
Correct.
obviously, because I mean the nostrils were created. I mean, the mouth is like a secondary device for us to breathe, right?
Yeah,
In case we can't breathe out of the nose because we have a stuffy nose, that's really what it is. We really do want to be mostly breathing through the nose as much as possible because that gives those little tentacles and all the stuff in there that filters
filters.
the
Yeah,
air and from contaminants and stuff like that. So that is
yeah.
definitely important. But when you want to do breath work and you want to
Mm,
transcend, you definitely
yeah.
need an open mouth breath because you need to be able to get full lung capacity, full belly, full diaphragm expansion.
Yeah.
You want to breathe into all of your organs, right? We're sending
Yeah.
breath into places that we're not usually breathing into, right? Because we're trying to get into a state by like the stillness of our mind and then the oneness with the breath. We just kind of expand the breath throughout the entire body cavity.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. So you said when you breathe when you want to transcend
Hmm.
breath work. So what do you mean by that? Transcend to what?
Yeah. Oh,
Where?
juicy, juicy, good stuff. Yeah. Very woo-woo, but
Yeah, yeah. We
um,
love it. We love that here. So we're
yeah.
good.
Okay. Well, then we're getting into the good stuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the journeys that I provide, right, it's inner healing journey is what it's called.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
it's from the lineage of rebirthing breath work, which, if it's like a tree and there's like different lineages, just like a family tree, the same thing with breath work, right? Started off with holotropic, Groff, had a bunch of people were on LSD at the time in the 60s and the 70s. He decided to like do an experiment and kind of like check out what was going on, notice the breath pattern, took out the LSD, kept the breath, called it holotropic breathing. I mean, obviously, these pranayamas, this breathing has been done for centuries in yogic
Yeah.
breathing. So we're not going to say that Groff is the creator of all breath work, but I mean, Westernized, yes, the definitely specifically this type of breath work. So basically he noticed that you could still go on a journey inside without
Yeah.
using anything to kind of agitate that. You don't need to have outside substances. So that's kind of my whole
Yeah.
thing as the woo woo master is it's not about taking something, not that I'm against any of that because it's not really any of my business, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
but I know for a fact that you can get there by yourself. So what we do is we breathe in a certain way to a curated playlist because obviously sound, right? It's a somatic
Yeah.
experience. So sound
Yeah.
plays
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
big, big, big importance in it. So a curated playlist, you're lying down, you're breathing in a certain pattern, and then I'm there holding space for you as you go on a journey inside of yourself. And what you
Mhm.
discover is different every time. So one thing I do want to make clear is that breath work is a practice. That's my main thing is like I have know a lot of people that just kind of do one-off breathwork experiences, and those are great, but you need the integration afterwards to be able to continue to get the transformation and the healing. So whatever comes up in the breathwork, you may have like this beautiful creative idea, masterpiece come out of you during after a breathwork journey. But then after you just like, well, how am I going to make this happen? And what's the next step? And what else does, what else do I need to get rid of or heal from so that I can actually make this happen, right? And so
Yeah.
that's where I come in. I coach my clients as well. It's not just about the breath. The breath is one of the facets, right? The fascia is another facet. The things that are stored in the physical body, I help
Yeah.
you release those. So it's a combination of just like getting into the whole being internally. I'm just holding the space. You're doing all the work,
Yeah.
and I'm just holding the space, and then I'm the guide, right? I'm just like you're the teacher. I'm the guide. I'm the guide. I'm just watching and telling you, okay, this is what I see from a facilitator aspect. And then I send you in the directions that I know you should go, right? As a guide.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That makes so much sense. And I love how you explained a little bit about the journey within and explain why. Hold on one second. 'Cause my daughter's texting me. I have to tell her I'm on a podcast, girl. There we go. All right, you got my full attention now. Um, that sometimes looking for substances or putting so much weight on a substance or someone or even a modality to tell you or help you with things that you already have the answer within you, but it's making the time and also even being daring enough, because I know a lot of people are afraid of, like, when you say journey, for some people that can be kind of scary because I'm like, what are
Right.
you taking me, like, where am I going to
Hmm.
go? But
Yeah.
it really is how busy we are that we forget to check in with ourselves, like, what am I not listening to, like, what things am I not paying attention to that I need to in my body, with illnesses, with pain, with different things. It's time to tell you, hey, pay attention, I'm here.
Absolutely. And that's my whole thing. It's you are your own healer. And you'll see
Yeah.
that whoever goes to my website, you'll see that. Like I talk about the inner physician. We are constantly relying on Western medicine to fix things for us. Or we're woo woo, like we are, right? But we're
Yeah.
going to a 7,000 different healers to find the
Yeah.
answer, which is great. I mean, I love all woo woo modalities. Like I love Reiki, I love, acupuncture, I love all the things, and I participate in all the things as well. And I have tried all
Yeah.
the things. But really, it's so simple. It's more like breaking it down. It's so simple. It's inside of you. If you find a facilitator who can hold this space for you, then you can go inside and unravel all the things that are already there. And you just need the person to help guide you to where you need to go from there, because it's not an ending, right? It's like it's
Yeah.
there's no like end destination. This is a life work. If you're working on yourself, anyone who's listening to this podcast, like if you're working on yourself, this is forever. This is
Yeah.
for your life, right? If you've committed to this journey of working on yourself and becoming better and healing, then it's forever. We're always going to find something. And so you just have to leave space and leave and make room for the breath to be able to
Yeah.
find that.
It's so good. And I love that you said when you find a facilitator, that's what I call myself, also a facilitator.
Mhm.
And I don't resonate with everybody, and not everybody resonates with me. And I am so
Yes.
okay with that because I don't have the capacity to connect with everybody. But there
Right.
are some people, and I love
Yeah.
that you have your own recipe. I also have my own recipe with different modalities that I connect with, that makes sense to me and the way that I want to help people. And there are people that when they get my recipe, they'll be like, oh my God, Kat is the person for me. But then there are other people that are like, oh my God, Nicoleta has this amazing recipe. And I resonate with her story and her past struggles.
Mm.
I want to connect with her. And then that works for her. And that doesn't make you better or worse than me. It just makes you the perfect facilitator for a specific number or type of people. And that it's the beauty of all of these healers that are coming up, that especially more than ever, we need more people that bring their own little sauce to the world and say, this is my story. This is what I messed up many, 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 many times. I am figuring it out as I go. And let me share with you how I messed up and then how this thing or these things that I have put together are helping me.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. It's so true. There has to be, I think we are really coming into a specific time in the world where
Yeah.
this is becoming like really, really, really at the forefront. I mean, I'm sure you have. I've been doing this for a very long time, but now it's like it's in your face. You can't
Yeah.
you can't find your way around it. Like you're gonna do some kind of healing, at some point. Like you just can't. Western medicine has failed us and it's been failing us. We're the sickest nation in the world, so yeah, empowerment to all those people out there that are sharing their light, their story, their healing
Yeah.
abilities, and creating their own, yeah, like you said, they're baking their own cake basically, right? And they're just like,
Yeah.
here's my cake. You want a piece? And go try everybody's cake, and
Of
see what
course.
what fits with you because this work is, like I said, it's forever. So, you may love to do breath work forever, or you may want to do acupuncture forever or whatever. It doesn't matter because as long as you're doing the thing, you will get to
Yeah.
where your soul needs to be, right? Because I believe that we all have a purpose on this world. So your purpose eventually, hopefully, if you're doing the healing, will be shown to you. And you could see, like, this is my purpose. Like for me, this is my purpose. My purpose is to share what breath work and fascial release has done for me personally and has done for many of my clients. And I'll just go screaming from the rooftops, like, try
Yeah.
this, if all else
Yeah.
fails, try this. And, don't go wait at the doctor. Try to work on
Yeah.
your inner healing yourself and let me help you if I can, or let me guide you in a direction or send you to a healer that I know that could help you with that. Because, like you said, yeah, people get scared of, going on journeys. And you know what? You should be scared because it's scary to do the work.
Yeah.
This is not for the lighthearted. Being woo woo, quote unquote, is not for the lighthearted. We're doing the
Exactly.
hard work. We're holding collectively the
Yeah.
energy of people's pain and their trauma and their sorrow. We're holding that space. We're the container for that. So we're
Yeah.
the light workers, in essence. So it's if you're uncomfortable going for a journey, then you're not ready, and that's okay.
Yeah.
No
That's
judgment,
okay.
right? But if you're
Yeah.
ready, come on, let's dive in. Like there's so much good stuff. There's so much juicy stuff to do there. I love it. Absolutely love
So good. Oh, it's so good. You're speaking my language. And I am so
it.
grateful that you have said it's not for the lighthearted. And us as healers, we are swimming against the current. We are going against centuries of people saying this is the way. And what does Tony Robbins says? Insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. So if
Yeah.
for years we have gone to regular doctors and stuff doesn't get better, it's like, okay, why I want to continue to do that when it hasn't worked? It hasn't.
Right.
Like people that get diagnosed with things and say, well, that runs in my family. And I'm like, well, I reject that. Thank you very
Right.
much. Like people at
Yes.
my age in my family already have diabetes and they have issues with their shoulders and all these things. And I'm like, by the time I was 40, I hit 40, I was already outside the norm. And that's because the things that I'm doing, the things that I'm
Yeah.
releasing, I'm not holding
Yeah.
on. That's why I love somatic work so much. I release generations of
Yeah.
trauma that I was carrying from people. And some people don't understand it. They think it's too out there. But when your body's telling you something hurts, before you go take something, find out who you haven't forgiven, find out who did something to you that you're still holding on to, and try to connect with someone that can read your body, can be like, oh, I know what, because every pain, every organ has assignments that you can go look up. Oh, my back hurts. Oh, this is what that means. You haven't
Wow.
forgiven somebody.
Yes, absolutely. I talk a lot about that with my clients. It's really, really, really super important how you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Out of all the things I like to emphasize when I'm working with somebody is it's how you talk to yourself. You have no idea how you're talking to yourself. You are pretty much the mean girl or boy to yourself. Like you're mean. Like you may not even know that, but you're like, oh, I can't do that. Or you, even if you're talking like, for example, one of the ways I healed my thyroid with these modalities is also how I changed my thought pattern, right? It's scientifically
Mm,
proven that your body does not know reality. This is a
yeah,
vessel, this is a meat suit, right? Your
yeah,
body does not know reality. You describe your reality to your body, and your body listens to you. Like, let that
yeah,
sink in for a minute. You describe your reality to your body, and then your body listens to that. So if you say, I'm fat, I don't have enough money, I don't this, I don't, you don't. People talk
yeah,
about manifestation all the time. I don't talk about it as manifestation. It's basically changing the way you talk to yourself. It's not a manifestation. You want a different reality? Your different reality is a change away. You just
yeah,
have to change how you talk to yourself, and you have to make changes. You have to get, my whole thing is you have to get very uncomfortable.
yes,
Be uncomfortable. The more uncomfortable you are, the more you're healing. And then when that really bad thing or that really traumatic thing comes, because unfortunately for all of us, it usually comes, right? Something devastating or something, like that you don't want to happen will come. And you're equipped, you're ready for that. You're like, ooh, I'm resilient. Like, oh no, you can't test me. Like, okay, yeah, that sucks. But or and I'm okay. I'm okay. Like I know who I am. I can this is, and
mm,
you can go from there. But if you're just constantly taking everything and letting the world just beat you up, that when that thing comes to get you, it's going to take you out. You know?
yeah,
You have to be mentally very, very strong. And the way we build mental resilience is by getting uncomfortable and
for
doing the
sure.
woo-woo, doing the woo-woo. I don't want needles in me. I don't like acupuncture. Do the woo woo, like do something, then do breath work. I don't like
It's
breathing.
too, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Well, then, go get a life coach. There's like so
yeah,
many different options out there.
right. You don't want needles, but you're gonna have a knife go through your body.
Right. Yeah. But you're going to need surgery. So, all
And needles
surgery.
anyway. You're still gonna have to have stitches,
We get
so it's
sewed.
still the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
this thing that I do with my friends, and they just laugh when I do it because I don't allow it. So when I have a friend, any friend that I'm hanging out with, whether it's in person or virtually, and they'll say something about themselves, I'm like, excuse me, do not talk like that about my friend. And I get
Yeah.
like kind of like a stern face,
Love
and they're
that.
like, they're taken back, and they're like, no, no, I mean that about me. And I'm like, I know you're talking about my friend. And
Oh,
then
I
they
love
get
that.
it. It takes them a
Yeah.
minute to. I realize I'm like, I had so many negative messages said to me when I was growing up, and I had to like
Mhm.
teach myself, and I was not photogenic, and I didn't really like I liked myself, but there were so many messages that you had that conflict. So I got in the habit, and I still do it every time I walk by a mirror, and it's always from love, not like vanity or anything. But I'm like, I smile. Sometimes I wink at myself. Sometimes I'll
Yeah.
throw myself a kiss. I'll
Get
hug
it, girl.
myself,
Yes.
and it does something every time. Like little things like that, or saying, I always say things are always working out for me. I say that so much that my body and my mind believe me
Boom. Yep.
because I say it on. Now it's not even a saying to me. Now it's reality. It's years and years of me saying things always work out for me. And now what do people say about me? Oh yeah, things always work out
Things
for you.
always,
And
and
I just
that's
laugh. I'm like,
and that's like extra manifestation, right? Because you're like, boom, bonus. People are seeing it already, right?
exactly.
That's so cool. I
Yeah.
love that so
That
much.
is so good. Something at the beginning, because I don't want to forget. It was so good. You said
Mm.
that you do the breath work, it's intentional breathing, but you also found that there was a correlation with the fascial release. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes.
That's so interesting.
Oh, so interesting. So when I first got diagnosed with the thyroid, I stumbled upon this random yoga studio and started doing fascial release, well, which is now considered fascial release with this lady, which is foam rolling. If you're not familiar with foam
Okay.
rolling, you know the
No.
foam roller? Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's like, so I actually started practicing under her. She took me under her wing and I learned all the foam rolling, and I swear it changed my body. Well, this is like completely amazing, full circle. After I do the fascial, I do all this foam rolling, and I've been doing so. Once I found it, when I was sick in 2000 and like 13, I've been doing it ever since, right? So let's fast forward 10 years now, right?
Yeah.
And or plus, and then I fell in love with the breath work. And I was like, ooh, this is the mental aspect of it. Like, this is, ooh, the body, somatic. Like, I feel like super
Yeah.
interesting. Then I'm guided to another woman who teaches fascial release with the hands. And then I go
Mm.
study under her because she's been told by source energy that she needs to bring this work. She's been doing this
Yeah.
since the 70s, but she
Wow.
needs to bring this work. Like she retired and then like she got a sign from source energy that she needs to like go. So now she's all over the world, does retreats every blah blah blah, and is just spreading this magic. And
Yeah.
so then I go study underneath her, and I like the biggest light bulb comes on in my head because I'm like, oh my goodness, I've been doing this. I've been doing this with the foam roller this whole
Wow.
time. And then the science of the fascia, learning about that, it's like, so yeah. So like if anybody's ever read The Body Keeps the Score, all my
Mhm.
woo-woos know what I'm talking about.
So good.
So good, so triggering, so intense for sure. Such an intense book. But it's true, right? So now they're finding out, like new science is showing that um, all of your memory is held in your fascia, and your fascia is kind of like this spider webbing, right? And it's like an armor. It holds your muscles and your bones. So it's kind of like it's the biggest organ in the body, okay? And it also
Wow.
goes between your organs, right? And so it's this thing, this system, right?
Yeah.
That holds all things, right? All trauma, all incidents,
Yeah.
all accidents, and any injuries and stuff like that. So when we're foam rolling, we're releasing the fascia to a
Yeah.
certain extent, right? So unfortunately, like getting a deep tissue massage and these kind of things are not going to release your fascia. Again, it's getting uncomfortable. My whole business is let's get uncomfortable. You want to get
Yeah.
and then in the sticky, it's the sticky stuff. That's where I'm at. And so what I do personally is for my new program that I just rolled out, I do breath work with the fascial release. So we get mind body together. And then so I get in there manually or I teach you virtually how to get into your fascia correctly and how to release whatever it is that you're holding on to. And then we do like
Wow.
evaluation. So I look at your entire body, like you said before. Every part of your body holds a specific energy, holds a
Yeah.
specific fear, anger, jealousy, rage, happiness, empathy, all these different things. And so then we started doing the work of like, okay, coaching of like, okay, this is held here. This is what's come up here with the breath. So the mind comes in, then the body comes in, then we just kind of weave this beautiful web of your reality and how you can start to unlock these certain things. And then once you release the fascia, you do kind of have to keep up on it. It's not something that stays released, obviously, but
Yeah.
you can do so much manual therapy that like you will never be able to do enough manual therapy to do like some of the things that I'm doing when I'm foam rolling you or I'm touching your actual body with fascial release because it's like a whole different thing that is not it's not really out there as much. So
Yeah.
yeah, the fascia is incredible and I'm like super nerded out on it.
Oh my God, I just love it. I'm listening and I'm like, this is so interesting. And I love that you use the S word because a lot of people that are listening to healers, we call because we're gonna call ourselves doctors. I don't want to be called a doctor. Anyway, we are healers. They think that this woo-woo mumbo jumbo stuff is like pie in the sky, fake stuff. And science is catching up to it.
Oh yeah.
And you can put it side by side. It's like even with hypnosis, which I did not know
Mhm.
I was doing within somatics. And I'm like, I was doing that already. I just didn't know that was part of hypnosis. Um, when I'm helping people go back in time and figure out, okay, when was the first time you experienced this? And then we go there, and then
Right.
sure enough,
Yeah.
something totally relates to what's happening today. And people think it's like scary, like, oh, what are you gonna do to me? It's like, what I'm gonna do, what we're gonna do together is we're gonna help you so you don't struggle and you don't live half a life. Because what happens is when you have struggled for a long time, you don't even realize that life can be better. That
Mm,
you can,
preach.
you like, have you ever like hit yourself with something and it hurts for that moment, right? We're not even aware when we're not in pain. We're only aware that we have not been in pain when we are in pain. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
it's been days, months that nothing hurt. What didn't I think of that I have been without pain for so long?
Right.
So it's the awareness of the opposite of that. You have been in pain for so long that you don't even know the opposite. But like when you like right now, if I scan my body head to toe, the blessing, nothing hurts.
Yeah.
Not a single thing. I don't have a hangnail, nothing. Right now, nothing.
Right.
That a lot of people cannot say that. But are they
Oh,
aware? Are they aware that they too many things hurt?
well, that's a great question because the thing is what I find is that what they do is they focus on it. And what you
Mm-hmm.
put your attention on gets
Yep.
bigger, right? You know that. Anything that you focus on gets bigger. And then, the science part of it, I'm a huge neuroscience geek, right? Like
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I'm certified neuro-linguistic programmer. Like I'm in it. And, neurons that fire together wire together, right? So these neurons that you're wiring together, and it goes back to what I was saying before, where your body doesn't know what's real, you tell it what's real. So in your mind, when you're firing these neurons and you're telling yourself, "Oh, my hip hurts, my hip hurts, my hip hurts," this is a record. People don't
Yes.
understand because they never change the record. It's like you can take the thing off and you
Yeah.
can put a new record, and that may sound old
Yeah.
school if it's record, or you can change the
Yeah.
playlist on Spotify, however you want to use
Yeah.
the analogy, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm not even that old, but I just think a record just seems is more
Yeah.
simplistic. But
Well,
um,
look behind. Maybe you said record because you're
yeah,
looking at my
well, yeah, no,
turntable right there.
I just love vinyl because I just love that
It's so
scratchy kind
good.
of like,
Yeah.
yeah, I want
And
to feel that.
it's visual. You could see it. You can hold it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah, it's like a thing, right? It's like a
Yeah.
nostalgia thing. Even though I
Yeah.
didn't grow up with it,
Me neither,
yeah,
but I love it. Yeah.
it's something, a musician thing. I'm into music a lot too. And so, it's just one of those things is that we're conditioned very, 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 very poorly. We're conditioned poorly to believe that we need to rely on, Western medicine, that we need to do this, that we need to do that, that we need to be married, that we need to have,
Yeah.
2.5 houses, and we need to have the most expensive car. And this is all conditioning. So you can break out of the matrix, but you're going to have to do it. Nobody can do it for
Right.
you. And it's not woo woo at all. It's just
Yeah.
your frame of mind. And if you want to stay where you're at, you go do you.
Yeah.
Like there's no judgment at all. But I know for a fact that you can get out of whatever it is that you're feeling physically in your body. I had a thyroid condition. My body was hurting like really, really bad.
Wow.
I had hip problems. I had all kinds of like just aches and
And that's early. Like you were very young.
yeah, I'm only 42 right now. That was when I
Wow.
was 33.
Wow.
No,
Yeah.
30, yeah, 30.
That was
But
early.
regardless, I mean, I was in a lot of pain. But then
Yeah.
the moment that I stopped talking to myself,
Yep.
the moment that I said, even when I had my thyroid condition, I would tell myself, I used to have a thyroid condition.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
Mm-hmm.
would talk to myself and I would visualize little things. This is really silly, but I think your listeners may enjoy this. And this is
Yeah.
something that may sound silly, but this is 100% guarantee will work for you. I used to send little guys. I used to imagine them in my head. Little, because every moment that you're breathing in millions and thousands of new cells. Your body is
Yeah.
recycling cells right now as you breathe.
Yeah.
Meaning new cells, brand new cells are coming into your body. So what I would do is I would imagine those new cells coming in with their little hard hats, and they were excavating on my thyroid, and they were like smiling, and all the little
Yeah.
bad ones were going out every
Yeah.
breath, right? So I'd connect the breath with the thought. And then every time I thought about my thyroid or whatever I was going through, it was shiny, was golden. I was the best. It was the best. It's the best functioning, right?
Yeah.
And then that moment that I changed my thought, everything changed. Everything from there changed because I had so much more capability, more capacity because I wasn't stuck in a reality that wasn't the one that I wanted.
Right. You created. And that's what
Yeah.
manifestation is. People think manifestation is passive, but we're manifesting every day. This moment is a manifestation of many
Yes.
thoughts that you and I had before separately.
Yeah.
That's what manifestation is, a physical thing of something that you thought about before. That's all it is. Our
That's it.
lives today are manifestations of thoughts we had before, period. It's not that complicated. And
It's
it's
really
actually
not.
not that woo woo
It's
because
really
everything is
not.
a thought. A computer,
Everything.
it was a thought. Zoom was first a thought. So what is the quality of the thoughts? I remember if I'm ever
Yeah.
out and about and for some reason I have to eat something that I don't usually eat, I'm at
Mhm.
somebody's house and I'm not gonna be rude, I'm gonna eat it. You know what I said to my body? We're gonna eat this, whatever it is. We're gonna
Yeah.
eat this and it's gonna be nutritious for us. We
Yes, girl.
are, it's going to be amazing for our body. We are going to enjoy it and it's going to be great. Anything else that is not, I use this word, we neutralize it.
Yeah, I love that. I do that all the
No
time.
issues, no
I do
issues
that
with
all the
that.
time. Yeah,
And it
I do that
works.
because I have kids. Because so kids are like always like my daughter last night was
Yeah.
like, "Can we go out for pizza with Olive or Olivia?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, we don't eat dairy. Like, I don't eat gluten.
Yeah.
Like, you guys always get sick after pizza." But I was like, "Sure." And then I just
Yeah.
was like, let's okay. This is well, what? And my daughter, she's automatically like, "Well, what if this?" And I'm like, do you think it is?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay, then you can have it.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
you start thinking that it is, then of course it's going to be."
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the intentionality. And I don't know if you been feeling that this year, 2025 started so strongly
Oof.
because of all the people that have been doing the work. I told that to my friend earlier today.
Mm.
We are there. I don't know if that
Oh
makes sense.
yeah.
All those
Yeah.
things that we planted, all this work that has been done, things that we have been asking for before, it was like we put an order in, and some of
Hmm.
the items that we asked for were custom made and they were brand new, never been made before, and they're very intricate because we're amazing, right? So that
Yeah.
order is coming due. So I don't know if you've been
Yeah.
feeling that energy of
I have.
like
I
all these
have.
things are
2025 has been
coming.
amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't subscribe to any like media and all the things going on in the
yeah,
world. Like I totally for a very, very long time, I have not been in that paradigm. I just don't,
yeah.
sometimes people
Don't
tell
watch
me,
it. Yeah,
oh, this and that, and the president is like, I'm like, oh,
yeah.
okay.
I don't know.
Like I just don't subscribe to it because it makes my reality so much nicer. And
Yeah,
so, yeah, I've just been stepping into with this work, you're always stepping into something new, like, like value of yourself, of your business. And so this year has been all about like, I've had a lot of wonderful opportunities come up. And I've just been like, yeah, I've been doing the work for this and I've been putting in my request and I've been, you do your due diligence, you do your work and you do it with like the intention of really trying to help people. You're going to have those blessings or that energy flow to you. You're a container. We're vessels. We're meant us as healers. We're like really have a capacity beyond like a lot of people, right? Like we have a capacity to hold so much space. I didn't really talk about it much, but like I have a mother who suffers from mental illness, and so I've just been given a capacity since birth, right, to hold this huge amount of space for healing and people who have a very very hard time with with their energy and like just being able to have that hold that space at like 5, right,
yeah.
now, because this is something that goes on has been going on my whole life because my mother's still alive. So
Wow.
it's just grown my capacity to just hold the space for people, and it's really coming it's coming through really 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 lovely, and I feel
Yeah.
blessed.
I love that you share that because a lot of people don't realize the blessing in our upbringing, the blessing in what we didn't get and or what we did get that we thought was not should not have been part of the plan. It's like it's our training ground.
Hmm.
I don't know if you noticed with every modality that you have learned, this has been my experience. Yes, I'm learning the principles. Yes, I'm learning different things, but the innate way of doing it was already in my DNA.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just the training just unlocks it, but it was
Yeah.
already there. It's just like the diploma, the certification gives me it helps me feel validated or it helps me know, yes, you could do it, girl. But when you think about it, you're like, when you were saying with the foam roller, I'm like, I was already doing that before you
Right.
even worked with that lady. Like it was
Yeah.
already there.
It was already there and it was already working for me. And
Yes,
the way that I was thinking was already there. And then someone else maybe like planted a little seed, and I'm like, oh yeah.
yes,
And because I worked with a lot of healers, so I mean,
yeah,
it hasn't just been me the whole time, right? Like I got to
no,
give it up to all my gurus and all the people that have passed through my fields. Like I've been really, really blessed to have that,
yeah.
just
But
to have.
that's a smart thing. Like again, we make our recipe, and our recipe is from all the amazing people that we have met, from all the things, from all the amazing teachers that did
Mm.
things that we probably wish they didn't, but at the end, it brought us here. So there are teachers as well. And we thank them. We thank all of it because otherwise we wouldn't be this version of ourselves. And this version is the best version because this is the one that exists right now. We are building other versions, but this version is pretty freaking good.
Oh yeah, I'm like super happy with this version. And again, like it took so much so much for us to
Yeah.
get to where we are, right? Like so many different things had to happen for you to be in this place and for me to be in this place and be able to hold the space for everyone that we do. And it's really just a gift to be able to have that opportunity to do that because there's the other side of this. There's the other reality where um people don't people have severe things happen, severe
Yeah.
traumas or severe situations, and they decide that they're the victim and that this is what they are, it is, and there's no going back from that. And then that's how they live their reality. And I know
Yeah.
firsthand because I've escaped that reality, and like my brother has not escaped that reality, let's say, right?
Mm.
And so I've seen it firsthand that although we grew up the same way and it was very dramatic and it's been very challenging and it continues to be very challenging, it's like it's how you deal with it. It's how you
Yeah.
work through it on a daily basis. So it really
If
goes to
you
show
work
you,
through it, not
yeah, if
everybody
you want.
is. Not everybody is. I always say we are not responsible for what happened to us, but we are most certainly responsible with how we move forward afterwards. That's our responsibility. And a lot of people, unfortunately, choose or decide to stay in the ish. They decide to stay in what happened to me. They call themselves, I mean, it's X and Y and Z survivor, which I don't know if we would love to use that kind of language. They continue to own it.
Right.
Um, and they stay there. They get something out of, I've been dealing with this for 25 years. It's like, oh,
Mm,
okay, how is that helpful to you? So
right.
I was writing when you were talking, um, what I say to myself changes what I see. So change what I say and change my world. It is that simple.
It is that simple. It is that simple. I never have ever, honestly, I've never really felt like a victim. And so I think that's been my superpower is that throughout all this stuff and all these experiences, and even still living with a mother who calls me on a daily basis and has manic episodes, like I'm like, this is teaching. I chose her. I'm here for a
Mm,
reason. I chose this path. My children chose me. I'm a true believer that you choose your parents and
yeah,
that you're here for your soul's purpose to learn something from this journey. And this is the for me this is the highest avatar, right? Like you're a human being. This is it. Like you've made it. Now what are you going to do with
yeah,
this contract that are you going to fulfill your soul contract with your creator that you said, okay, I've come here to heal X, Y, and Z or do X, Y, and Z. And I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna live up to that. I signed
Yeah.
it and I think I'm gonna stick to it.
That's the best option. Oh my God. I have love and continue to love this conversation because it's like soul sisters talking, pulling from each other, and just still, it feels like it's a celebration to the healers, which that's who I attract and connect with. So thank you so much for sharing, being so candid and being so passionate about your sauce, your secret sauce to helping people. Do you have anything else, anything coming up that my audience can connect with you?
Yeah, so everyone can go to my website, www.chameleonbreathwork.com. You can go on there and grab your free breathwork guide and kind of get introduced a little bit to breathwork. Also, soon on May 27th through the 31st, I will be at 1440 Multiverse for a grief retreat. So anybody who's suffering from any loss of a child or anything like that, I will be facilitating breathwork through this wonderful, wonderful community in Scotts Valley, California. So if you go on to the 1440 Multiverse website and you're interested in doing the retreat, it's a fantastic retreat. A lot of wonderful healers will be there, and I get the blessing to be one of them. So if you'd like to join, otherwise, you can check me out on Instagram. I'm not super involved in Instagram. I'm kind of more as I feel it, and I don't feel it all the
Yeah.
time. I'm really authentic I'm
Yeah.
really authentic with my posting and my stuff. I'm very intentional when it comes to that, but Chameleon Breathwork as well. And then the Facebook is Chameleon Breathwork as well.
Awesome. I was going to ask you that. So we'll make sure to post both because I know even if you're not there a lot, whatever is there, it's really good. So I'm sure
Oh yeah,
they'll
yeah.
be
Go
able
there,
to,
subscribe, click it, and
yeah,
get
do
all
all the
the get
things.
all the free stuff, the knowledge, and yeah, just come hang out and say hi for sure.
I love it. And I'm glad that you have that free breath work because we need it. We need to learn to breathe
Yes.
better and to release, which is so amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm so excited for all the things that you're doing. So proud of you for embracing your calling and sharing your story so bravely and changing the world. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much. And I wanted to acknowledge you and thank you as well
Mhm.
for having this podcast and having a place for us to be able to share our voices and our message. And I hope that whoever this resonates with, that it gets deep in your heart and you keep following, subscribing, and just really following your path and your journey. Thank you so much. It's been an honor.
Amazing. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much. There you have it, guys. Another powerful, amazing conversation. If you could tell, this is all organic, by the way. We don't plan the questions. I just go with the vibe and feel what is happening in the moment and trying to get from the guests what nuggets can they bring, what trauma, what event have they gone through that can help you. So if you have gone through a lot and you're like, Kat, I've gone through too much. I cannot help anybody. I can barely help myself. I'm here to tell you with Nicoleta, also with her story, that the more you have gone through, listen, you are probably a master healer at this point because the experiences that you have gone through, that makes qualifies you to be able to really connect with people. Because when they tell you, I went through this, you can be like, I know what that feels like. And when you say it, they're gonna know you know just by the way you say it, even before you share your experience, because there's a knowing in pain. So your pain is the pathway to your amazing journey of healing yourself and healing others. I'm going to encourage you to watch this twice, three for good measure. Listen while you're driving or exercising, because there was so much shared here that is going to really transform your life. We're going to put all these resources in the blog post that goes with this episode. So make sure that you listen, you watch, you read, you do all the things. So your 2025 is different from any other years in all the experiences that you had before. Please know that I love you, that I'm rooting for you, and I'm going to see you super, super duper soon.